Hi, welcome back and welcome to another reading. A couple quick announcements for you before we get into this read. If you find that this reading helps you in any way, shape, or form, or if you just enjoy it, go ahead and hit the like button. That'll do really great things to increase the likelihood that this video will find someone else that it can help. And it's a easy and free way to support this channel. If there will be an extended reading for this video, for this read, the link to that will be in the description box. It's through Patreon. However, if there's no link there, then there isn't an extended for this one. I am going to put timestamps below this video if you'd like to skip past this intro, if you've seen quite a few of my videos and you're already familiar with the spiel. But on the off chance that you're coming across it for the first time, I do want to just briefly set my intentions with you. So my approach to tarot, I shuffle for messages that need to come out, the things that you need to know that are maybe going unseen or unnoticed by you, or maybe being hidden from you. That being said, there's good and and potentially bad that could come up in the read, but don't let that discourage you. You know, we'll praise and appreciate all the good that comes through, and anything that is subjectively bad we will definitely talk about, to the end of understanding how we can work with the energy and just really get some insight into what's not working. So that being said, as I said, guys, timestamps will be below this first part of the read. I do just channel intuitively as we shuffle and pull your cards. And then we'll get clarifiers and look at your cards in greater detail in the second part of the video. Hold on. So I had the heat on because it's kind of chilly outside, but it's kind of hot in here. Even though it wasn't running at that particular point. People are talking about you, talking about us. That song is playing in my mind. Let's give them something to talk about. What you want to talk about potentially, or what your attention is on, are the things that you can't have, or you may be that thing that someone can't have. There's some news, guys, and it doesn't look pleasing. If anything, it's the kind of news that makes things more unclear. It's the kind of news that makes things uncertain. Are you burying yourself in work? The floodgates are opening. Let's look at these together. All right, here are your cards. Let's grab your clarifiers and we'll talk about what's here. I know this is more than what it probably seemed like came out in the first part of the read, but that's just because I wasn't holding all of them up as they were coming out. It's just trying to understand what was happening here. Four of Swords, Three of Pentacles, So first we have Lust, which is going to be Venus in Aries, and Principle, Jupiter in Sagittarius. Interesting combination. throat chakra energy. Someone's having difficulties talking or difficulties communicating, difficulties putting their feelings into words. We're going to go through these cards first on the off chance that anything on any of these stands out to you. It could be an indicator that this is your read, and then we'll talk about what's here. No one compares to you. Pride. Blue eyes. The letters S, T, and U. Someone could have one of those letters in their name. The month of June. The month of May. The month of December. The month of October. There's a lot of waiting here. Petty. Pleasure. Love. The letters Y and Z. Brown eyes. Virgo. Let's just kiss and say goodbye. Libra. So, quite a few songs are coming through for this read. Alright, let's take this one card at a time. So there is something or someone that you have been waiting on. Some of you are still waiting on this thing, or you are still waiting for this person, and there is this feeling of being robbed of something here. There's this feeling that there's something that's been taken from you, or that maybe you can't have. And I don't want to minimize your experience or how you've been feeling, but I get the sense here that this is a figment of your imagination because you have plenty. There are things that need to be seen and appreciated in your life. These are things that do have value of some kind. These are people that do have some kind of value, but they're being overlooked for what you feel as though you haven't attained yet. There are, even though you have attained a lot, periods of loneliness or periods where you feel empty despite all that you have accumulated materially. There is a emotional need or emotional itch that needs to be scratched here, and you've gone wanting. Now, you may feel as though venting or talking about this with certain people is going to make you feel whole, or that it's going to fill that void. But it's the kind of satisfaction, it's the kind of release that only satisfies you for a time. When you lay down, or when you come down from that high, that feeling begins to creep back in. And it's not something that you're able to let go of. Maybe because of the principle. Maybe you feel that this is a cause that you're willing to continuously, routinely speak on or bring up, because your narrative is something that is so important to you. There's a narrative here that's being perpetuated, or a principle, an underlying principle that you feel is worth defending. It leads to a lot of actions that are taken from a place of fear. It leads to a lot of things that are being said from a place of fear. And this is an approach that is counterintuitive. And it's like, as you go seeking justice and you give into that kind of temptation at every turn, the further and further you get away from the root of the problem. So what is the way forward? Because acting and speaking from a place of fear is not sustainable, and it's only leading, or is going to lead, to destruction. It will erode at your spirit the longer that you stay in this energy. They say that the opposite of fear is love. That is the energetic space that you have to get in here for the sake of your sanity. Forgiveness is the energetic space that you need to get into for the sake of your peace. There is something that must be left behind here, or that, despite what some of the people in your orbit or who you may be venting to may lead you to believe, there is no glory or righteousness in being a martyr. So you have to be really, really sure about the hills that you're willing to die on. You have to be really, really sure that your perspective, your way of seeing things is in fact the right way. So if you truly pass those tests, truly pass them, and these tests are not being passed because of entitlement, then you're already on the right path. But if you have any doubts, and anything that I've said up until now was triggering in any way, or at the very least gave you pause, then I think it would be to your benefit to zoom out, take a step back, and really look at why why you want to beat this dead horse, or what the fascination or fixation on this thing or this person is. When you begin to act and speak from a place of love, everything changes. You no longer have to look over your shoulder. The way you walk and you talk, it changes. The thoughts that occupy your mind change. The focus is less on the material and on the superficial and more on the spiritual. And what is truly right becomes more clear when the matters of the world take a back seat. To the matters of and the well-being of the soul. But only you can walk through that door. Only you can cross that threshold. And the trap that lies in venting, the trap that lies in gossiping, is that not everyone is going to be the bigger person and not fan those flames. There's some who are going to tell you what you want to hear, and they have their reasons. Whether it's that they love you and will support you in anything that you do or say, or they don't want to become the target. Or they're just waiting for their turn to vent. So they're agreeing with everything that you say. These two clarifiers that came out here are, let's see, Three of Pentacles. First, it says, the power of creativity, recognition for high quality work, be a team player. Something must be reevaluated. Like there's, you know how they have blueprints for a building, and those blueprints they provide the guide. I think that someone has veered away from the blueprint, and it's like the goal has become obscured. And we got Four of Swords, time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. We did say something about slowing down, taking some time to really think things through, and I think that that would be beneficial. Let's talk about these two here. Well, there were a couple in here that stood out to me. That first, well, let me tell you, okay, so all over the place, apologies. So on the topic of love, just before we move on here, it is it's powerful. It's powerful. The lyric that is coming to mind is, love can mend a broken heart, but it has the potential to destroy the absence of it. And that throat chakra energy that I was picking up on, it's like, it's hard to articulate. There are hang-ups when it comes to communication. There are blockages there. There's worry that the meaning behind a message will be lost in translation, will be lost in transit. It will not reach who it's meant to reach, and by the time that it reaches them, it will have been too late. And there's a lot riding behind this message. It has the potential to save a life, or at least that's how that's how it feels to the person who hasn't had the opportunity to express themselves. Being heard is the kind of thing that would free them. So perhaps there's a need here for people who aren't just simply listening to you, or people that aren't just simply hearing you, and a desire for more people in your life who are going to listen to you and add to the conversation, add value to it. Now, my goal here is not to berate you or to shame you. Some of you, I think, have tried to settle something. I'm also hearing settle the score. Be careful if what you're trying to do is get even with someone who you feel has wronged you. That is not the way. You will only bring about more destruction into your life, and the obsession that you have with the thing will become even more unhealthy the longer that you go without realizing the justice that you feel that you should be served. You feed that demon enough, it will become too large for you to control, and it will start to eat you. I'm hearing green-eyed monster. Something about jealousy here. So as I was saying, my goal here is not to berate you, because it looks like you have tried, are trying, but rest is hard to find the longer that something goes unfinished, or something that you perceive to be unfinished. Or something that you perceive to be unclear, but it's already understood. You've tried to hate someone, but you've tried to let someone go, but you love them. You can't hate them. You don't want to let them go. The love that you feel is stronger than your pride. These two here that came out are, the first is Venus in Aries. Let's talk about that. Lust. The unadorned figure is the object of desire. The fiery volcano symbolizes Aries' sudden outburst of energy. The chameleon changes color to become whatever is required in order to achieve its aims. Someone with the Venus-Aries combination of love and self-will demands a great deal of personal attention and will compete in partnership matters with enormous enthusiasm. Willful, unstable, affectionate, and imbued with a healthy lust for love and life, people with this planet sign combination are impulsive in matters of relationships and good taste. What or who Venus Arians choose, they are determined to get. These personality types are cheerful and positive and have great enthusiasm and sparkle. Their warm-hearted, pleasant, and friendly nature wins many loyal friends and guarantees loyalty in return. Socially, Venus Arians are comfortable and competent, with a manner that carries them successfully through most tricky situations. With these qualities, they can make good business and romantic contacts. Competitive instincts make the Venus Arians want the best, and the best they will have. As with all Venus aspects, this card suggests some artistic creativity. If these fiery Venusians are not artistic themselves, they will have the ability to surround themselves with artistic and talented friends. Appearances are important to Venus Arians, and they take a great deal of trouble to look good wherever they see themselves on show. When this card is drawn, it indicates a need to assert oneself, and yet to do this with the utmost warmth and charm. The hard hand in a velvet glove may be the answer. This echoes quite a bit of what we spoke with regards to getting what you want, this fixation on it. It's unrelenting. One will not stop until they achieve it. But the what seems to be the obvious warning here is that one must know how much is too much or how far is too far. Next, we got Jupiter in Sag, principle. Ruins represent the establishment of earlier times. The Mitra is a symbol of spiritual power across centuries and countries. The constellation Noah's Dove, with its prominent star, Fact, is ascribed to the nature of Jupiter and Saturn by Ptolemy. With Jupiter in its own sign of Sagittarius, we see the perfect combination of planet and sign. For the lucky people with this aspect, the most satisfying way to enrich life is through broad, adventurous travel, both physically and mentally. Studying or living for a period within another culture is fulfilling for people described by this card, and a major philosophy or religion will form an important part of life, although this may manifest as psychology or politics. Jupiter Sagittarians can also be concerned with publishing, lecturing, and teaching, but always connected with a strong set of ethics. These interests produce a far-sightedness that can manifest as seeing into the future. Jupiter Sagittarians have a strong desire to acquire as much education as possible and take advantage of opportunities for involvement in mature studies, which can lead on to distinguished achievements. They are also, however, susceptible to involvement in extremist religious or philosophical beliefs. On the negative side, it is possible that people with this planet sign combination may seek to impose their concepts on those around them to the extent that they develop a self-righteous attitude that rides roughshod over other views. When this card appears in a reading, it will raise a matter of principle or life philosophy that is particularly related to the question. We spoke to this, right? About someone feeling as though their narrative is the one that should be followed. And that really not being the way to go. And the reason I say that is because the Hangman came out in reverse here. And when the Hangman is in the upright, this person is being sacrificed by the mob and they are the ones that are right. But when the Hangman is in reverse, this is the energy of one who is, no disrespect, self-righteous. They feel as though their way is right, and they feel they are willing to die for a cause that or for a purpose that is bigger than themselves, but they're doing it because they feel as though portraying themselves as the victim will substantiate their claims. You are not a victim, and you shouldn't pass yourself off as one. This one was a bit on the heavier side, and I hope that you can see this as some tough love. Sometimes we need to hear things like this, and the times that we don't want to hear it are the times that we need to hear it the most. I hope this helped. If it only triggered you and didn't help you, please trust that that was not my intention. The start of any type of positive change lies in awareness and bringing it to your attention and talking about it is a very important part of that. I know it may seem a little bit unfair because I'm just saying all of this to you and you don't really have an opportunity to respond or defend yourself, which I feel like some of you may want to do. And to that I would say, take what I've said here and meditate on it, pray on it. You don't have to apply it to your life immediately. All I'm asking is that you just consider it, that you zoom out a bit and try to view the situation objectively. If you didn't think of yourself as a victim, how would the situation look through that different kind of lens? This was your read. I hope I didn't scare you off and that I get to see you in the next one. I'll see you next time.